Oh shit, man! What's going on, everybody?
What's happening?
Welcome back to another episode of From the Big House to the Penthouse: Stories of Addiction and Recovery. As always, your host is Ricky Cruz,
and my co-host Raul Moreno. What's up, brother?
Man, what's going on?
What's happening?
Shit, man, trying to be like you.
Oh man, shoot! You don't want to be like me, man. You'll be having the creditors following you, calling you in the mornings, man, waking you up.
They do that now.
Well, they'd be calling you more. Yeah. Yeah, you don't be like me, dog. Actually, man, my credit is actually better.
Yeah?
I fixed my credit.
Mine's getting fixed.
It's getting
over COVID. Which sounds crazy.
It is crazy.
It got a lot better.
You stayed at home playing on your computer more, going, man, I better pay this damn bill.
I know where to spend money at.
Yeah, I know that's right, man. So what's going on, man? What'd you do this weekend?
Man, what did I do? I went to a meeting on Friday.
I heard about it, man.
Yeah,
you went with this guy here.
Well, I saw him.
Are you doing and we'll introduce our guest again here in a second as our mystery guest. He's not a mystery guest anymore, is he?
No,
he's been here 2 times. He has such a long freaking story. We had to ask him to come 3 times. So so what are you running the meetings on Fridays? Tuesday. So did we mention that this guy took over? He actually opened the meet. Ernesto opened our group. We're opening Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Ernesto ruffled a bunch of feathers at our group, and he says, "Hey, man, we are, the newcomers, man. We're getting more newcomers, and I need this thing opened every day."
Man.
And so what he did? He committed to Tuesdays and Thursdays. Now I don't know how he tricked somebody else to take Thursdays. And now he's got people
crazy. He's like, he's so chill. I can't just see him over there just doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's so in the cut. Let me.
So you went Friday.
I went Friday.
Okay. You had a buddy of yours, right?
A buddy of mine who just got
clean.
Got clean.
He's getting clean.
Well, he's got about 90 days.
Dude, that's awesome,
over 90 days now because he was in the program.
I'm going to tell you, dude, and just for our audience that in my opinion, man, I'm going to say this, that, okay, I've got 10 years, right?
Yeah.
I didn't realize in the beginning of my program, when I used to see these guys that had 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 4 years, 5 years, let's just say, man, I was like, man, that's, dude, that must be hard staying clean that long. I'm going to tell you, man, my opinion has changed.
It's changed.
Yeah. Bro, I'm going to tell you something. To me, and this is my experience, I can't talk for any recovering addict. I can't talk for anybody else. All I can talk about is my experience, man. My experience has been this, man. For the first 9 months of recovery, dude, it was hard. I was going to give up. Yeah. I mean, I can't count the times that I was going to give up. I was just like, you know what? We're here, the F button. Beep. Yeah. Man, you know what? It's too, it's going to take, my sponsor told me, dude, as messed up as fucked up as I made things. I mean, you just get comfortable. It's going to be a while, but it is going to get better, man.
Yeah.
But back to the thing, man, of having 4 or 5, dude, by the time when you get that obsession out, when I got that obsession to use, when I lost the urge to use drugs or any kind of minor drinking and all that, it really got easier. What got harder was living life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As they say, life on life's terms,
I
lost my dad. Things were happening. I was dealing with spousal issues, being divorced and going through all that bullshit. So I say all that to say this, man, those 90 days for your buddy, man, and the Gordo here with you got a year and a half, right, or something like that. Dude, those are the times, are the trials, man. This is when you're sweating blood, sweat, and tears, man. And I applaud the people like him and the 90 days, the 30 days, and the 60 days, man. Those are amazing times, because I'm gonna tell you something, man. Those are the trials when most of us don't make it.
Right,
we
right,
die.
right. Yeah.
So you went to the meeting, and you tell us about your friend a little bit, man.
Well, no, you know what I want to say, man. If you don't mind if I say something that you said in the meeting, it's nothing crazy. It's just, dude, I saw his face. He was talking about where he was, you know, like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And he's saying, you know, it's crazy now. Like Ricky's out of town, and he trusts me with the shop. You know, and he says, like, he remembers at one point in his life saying, man, I wish I could just get back to the shop. And now he was in charge, and that shit, man, I saw that in his face, bro.
He put the work in. He put the work. He put the work in, Raul. I'm going to tell you, a lot of folks don't put the work in. I'm going to tell you something. It's been hard, and he'll tell you. We've had some powwows here, man. I mean, to where, you know, I'm thinking to myself, he's fixing to quit. I mean, I can see in his face, because I know he's a thug. No, he's a thug. He's a young thug. He's from the street. You know, you don't talk to him a certain way. How you don't talk to us a certain way. We're a little older, right? We're out of that game for longer than he has.
To smack the shit
right, damn straight. But you know, I've seen, and I pushed them to the, you know, sometimes, man, you know, you push people to the limit, so they could withstand.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you can withstand that storm. So that way, when something really hits you, man, you can handle it. See, I didn't know that about what my sponsor did for me.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man. So yeah, he's done other work, man. Bro. He's done the work. So
I wanted to share that with you, because
I appreciate that, man.
Man, I saw that, and he was beyond happy to say, man, I was stressing. Yeah, but I was stressing about that. So that was cool to see, man. And
good. I'm glad to hear.
Yeah. Man, what did you do, man?
Me?
Yeah. Well,
how was your week, I can't, dude. Well, I mean, last week, as he told you, man, I went on spring break, man. You know why, dude? First time in my career, I think that I left. I've never left for spring break, right? No, I have never. I think the times that I've left the shop, the business, I'll close it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this time I left, man. Almost didn't leave.
For real?
Oh yeah, I almost did not leave, man. I was gonna change. I had changed I was changing the you know, my mind about leaving, because, dude, even though I have full faith in Ernesto and the guys here and him taking the lead, I have hurdles that I got to get through for myself. You know what I mean? There's things in my head that I've got to get through, get over, and fears, and, you know, the fears of this, that, and the other, you know what I mean? So, and then, but I finally said, you know what, that day that I was supposed to leave in the morning, I think you heard me. I said, F it, man, I'm not going. I said it.
No, you should.
Oh yeah, I said it, because I you know, but in the back, and then so I left. I went ahead. I said, you know what, man, I'm leaving, and I left. Packed up my clothes, and everybody's walking on eggshells with me. I get like, I don't know why I get like that, man. But this is things that I.
But how was it, man?
I left, and I get there, man, and you know, I kept up my, you know, because I'm plant-based, I'm vegan, and I took all kinds of food and meals, and I cooked the whole time, and we had a great time, man. I mean, my grandkids. Man. I got closer to my grandkids, man.
I saw the pictures.
I got close. We took off my two little Turbo 1 and Turbo 2, dude. And then, I mean, we got really close, man. And it kind of, I wanted more, man. So anyway, so with that, and then we came back, and we spent all those days there in beach and food and eating, and just both of my daughters, all three of my daughters, telling me, man, they put me to the side. I was like, Dad, man, this is awesome. You know, we're all together, and, you know, like Grease, you know, everybody's together, the gang's together, you know, that kind of shit.
Like
huh?
Like what?
Grease. Have you ever watched Grease, the movie Grease? But yeah, it was amazing, man. And I came back. This one texted me, goes, hey, man, these guys want to know if you're coming in to pay them. You can pay them, and then you can leave again. Yeah. So I did. I did pay him, and I left. I did just that. I left, and then so yeah, that's what I did, man. It was a great. And then I went to I got back. I paid the guys that same day I got back. I went to a birthday party, and then the next day I went to George Strait.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kept up. I kept. Oh
that was
man,
crazy,
it
bro.
was crazy,
I
man.
can imagine.
And I'm gonna go to Jerry Strait again. Did I tell you?
When you gonna go?
At the end of next month. I'm following him to Austin.
Well, you're a groupie now?
I'm a groupie, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, dude, yeah, he's got 2 tour dates. I don't
Yeah.
think he tours a lot, man.
Man.
He's made such an impact on me that I bought tickets
That's
for
what's up.
next month.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. Recovery, dog. That's what my recovery does for
Yeah.
me. So that's what I did. Yeah,
Man,
it was great.
Ernesto, introduced Ernesto.
Okay, well,
again,
listen, man. As you guys know, man, Ernesto's he's shared his story the last couple of times. He's back, hopefully to finish it up, man. Not that we're getting tired of him or nothing. It's just it's he says, hey, man, we save the best for last. He says. So where did we leave off, Ernesto? By the way, this is Ernesto. He's got 1.5 years clean. He's worked for me on and off. What, for about 5 or 6 years, Ernesto? About 7 years or longer. I put up with your shit for a long time. And even with mine.
Probably saying the same thing.
Same to me.
Exactly.
Exactly, he says. But it's been all good, man. That was just all fun and games, but it's been all good. It's been a pleasure. So I'm gonna let him go ahead. Do you remember what we left off, Ernesto? Do you remember, Raul?
Man, we were barely getting to I listened to the whole podcast again yesterday so I can refresh, and I forgot.
Yeah, tell us, Ernesto, where did we leave off? I'm sure you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
I started really getting into the hard stuff.
Okay,
harder drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Actually, I didn't want to come back on.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
But
why'd you change your mind?
You had the time to
because
think
I changed
about
my mind because Raul caught me on a good day at the meeting.
Yeah, yeah. I always catch him on a bad day.
Yeah, I told him, I said, man, Ricky's on vacation. I said, if he's on vacation again, bro, we're still gonna do it. He's like, all right.
Yeah, and man, I didn't want to do it, and I started thinking, man, like I heard somebody said 80% of on our story, 80% don't really care, and 20% are glad it happened to us.
What does that mean? I don't understand.
You think so?
What does that mean? Elaborate.
That's what they say.
Well, elaborate. I don't know what that means.
About our story. 80% don't really care.
Okay. Are you talking about our friends or people that know us or what?
Just in general.
In general.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 20% are kind of glad that it happened to us or to me. That's what I was thinking.
Friends and family.
Yeah. And
so like envious people are glad that it happened to you, people that didn't want to see you do good. Is that what you're talking about?
Whoever.
What's a lot of people? I mean,
I don't get it. I'm lost. When you say, I mean, are you talking about 80% of people don't care that it happened to us? Are you talking about people that know us?
He just means statistically in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So 80% of the people that we know, and maybe not day to day, like communication, but like let's say you got 5,000 people on your Facebook page.
Right.
He says 80% of them really just don't give a fuck.
But they don't know me. I don't know.
That's what he's talking about. So
Okay,
so then he's saying that 20% are like haters in disguise.
Right.
They're like, okay, like when people saw my mugshot, I know people were like, that's yeah. But now they looking like they're probably still like,
Come and tell you something, man. Do you know why I asked that? Do you know why? One of the reasons that I used to stay clean, that propelled my recovery, was because there were certain people that I didn't want them to see me down again.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? And it was a couple of family members that I was gonna do whatever the fuck it took not to go down again. You know what I mean? And then there were some people that acquaintances that it would be just too hard for me because I claimed victory already. I claimed it. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry about that. The bell. I claimed victory, and we're not supposed to claim victory in recovery, right? We're not supposed to say, hey, man, you know what? I reached this pinnacle. I reached this, and that. We're not supposed to. But I did. And maybe I'm wrong. So anyway, back to your story, Ernesto. Yeah.
So you say that.
Yeah, I say that, but then, I was thinking, man, there's maybe there is somebody just won 1%. 0.5%. You know, somebody that maybe they need to hear somebody. They need to hear a story. They need to hear recovery. And I know, you know, when I was out there, I needed some hope. So yeah, you know that kind of.
Do you think, Ernesto, that you have more empathy? You know, I learned that word empathy. Empathy. I learned what it means. You know, people used to talk about empathy. It's having empathy towards people, towards, you know, recovering addicts specifically. But having to me, man, I wasn't very empathetic, man, towards people before. I'd be like, "Oh, you fucked up. Okay, whatever, get out of the way." You know what I mean? Me, dude, today, you know, today, man, it's changed for me, man. I'm more empathetic, if I'm saying the word right. You know, empathy, empathetic.
Lisa,
hey, you're right,
saying it
Lisa,
right?
Chrissy, where you at?
Is he saying it right?
So, towards people, man, in their struggles and their suffering and all that, man. Before, just like after my dad suffered from cancer, dude, I used to report, they had cancer, whatever. Okay, it didn't mean nothing to me, right? Not until my dad, you know, died from cancer. Now, you know, you know that, you know what I'm saying? Now I felt it, I feel it, and whatever, right? So I kind of, would you say that you're more empathetic or have more empathy towards people that, because I hope you don't mind, but you're dealing with and I'm not going to disclose, but you're dealing with a family member that's going through what you've been going through, correct?
Right.
And you and I have had, see, this is the thing, Ernesto. I mean, Raul, Ernesto and I have had these intimate conversations, man, in private. You know what I'm saying? We've had these intimate conversations, man, where we get really, you know, really into our feelings, man. And this is where our relationship has got really, you know, I think it's gotten stronger, right? But I know that, and I hope he doesn't mind, but, you know, me dealing with a recovering addict or a family member, right? We are reminded, see, because just my sponsor, Eugene, God rest his soul, man. Eugene used to say, "Hey, I'm a fast learner, bro. I'm even faster forgetter. We forget where we come from, man." You know, but anyway, go ahead, Ernesto.
Yeah. So I didn't want to, but then, you know, I wanted to come on here and finish my story.
Okay.
A lot of people were messaging me and saying, "Hey, man, what's up?" You know,
What's happening?
You know, and I didn't even know anybody watched this. You know, I can't tell if anybody, you know, if you are watching it, I would, you know, go ahead and like it or comment or something for us. You know, I would appreciate it, because I don't know who can see this.
There's a lot of people been watching, bro.
People been messaging me, say, "Hey, what happened to the show?" Because the last time we had to reschedule.
So we had spring break, and then we had a scheduling conflict. So that's what it was between. So the first week was a scheduling conflict. No,
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. But let's say it sounds professional.
Yeah, it sounds right. Yeah, it sounds legit.
And then spring break. So our apologies.
Right. Yeah, but we're back.
Yeah, and I want to say something. You know, any of this is not glorifying any nothing that all this recovery stuff doesn't. What I talk about doesn't glorify any of the lifestyle or nothing. You know, I don't want to glorify any of that. You know, I don't. You know, the people that are really badasses. A lot of people that kids that are taught and they stay doing right and they stay doing good and they build their lives like badass lives. You know, that's, to me, that's badass. You know, that's what I would want for my kid that's what I would want them to do. You know, that's badass to me. But what also is badass is that empathy of understanding when somebody messes up and they're an addict and they lose everything to addiction and they come out of it. That is also badass.
I agree.
That's really badass. But yeah, last time we were getting into, I had left the shop. You had fired me, and at the time I was doing a lot of partying. A little before I got fired from the shop, I was doing
with Gary.
yeah, I was partying. I was doing a lot of cocaine, smoking weed, and a lot of drinking. And one night, I went to Pasadena looking for some more cocaine, and I somebody introduced me to meth,
Mm.
and I tried it, and that was what I was looking for, and that was what I was looking for, and
That's the end of your rainbow, dog. Right? That was
yeah.
at the end of your rainbow.
Yeah, and I I liked it. I liked it a lot. And but I did that once, and then I went back to work that next week, and I wasn't really functional, like I want to be. And the next weekend, you know, I was like Friday, Saturday night, I was, hey, let's go, let's go get some more of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that weekend I done that all weekend, and I tried to go into work, and I got fired.
Mm.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's where
Yeah.
you left out about. And I remember you saying that you were angry at the person that introduced you to that,
Yeah.
and for a good while because you blamed him for everything.
Yeah.
Yep. Hmm.
And I got all my stuff, all my tools, and I left the shop, and then I did something to somebody that I broke into somebody's house and took some of their stuff, a close friend, and a friend today. He is a friend today, and I appreciate him a lot. But I did something wrong, and that was for me. That was it. That was it for me. That's when I did that. That's when I knew that this is when I had really given up.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I had
But you didn't stop.
I didn't stop.
Why? What's the audience? The people that are not. Not that I'm gonna interrupt. I'm gonna lead you into things, and I'm gonna ask you some questions that some of our audience. Why didn't you stop? Why didn't you just stop?
Stop what? Stop
Stop doing drugs. Yeah, if you knew, okay, you and I, us three, we know why. We know the answer, but I want you to tell our audience, the people that are out there, the mother, the father, the brother, the sister that has an addict, so they can understand, because this isn't just about the addict listening to us. They know what's up. They know what's going on in your mind. I want the audience members, the ones that are suffering, that they're at nighttime, knowing that their kid is out there that may not make it another night. What is it? Why can't their kid stop? Tell us why you couldn't stop, even though you knew what the result was going to be. And okay, tell us about that. That's what our audience, the ones that don't know about addiction, right? Tell us, because my grandfather, my dad was like, why doesn't he just stop? Be a man, tie your belt on, be a man.
Your grandfather was saying that about you?
No, my dad. I meant to say my dad.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
My grandfather's been gone for many years.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell us why you didn't stop. Bring that to life. Bring it, into a story. Bring it to life, man.
Man, I couldn't stop because I didn't know how to deal with my problems. I was an addict. I'm an addict. And when I use on anything, I go to the extreme.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know how to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see a problem?
Yeah, of course. I seen it coming.
So if the solution was just to stop, why didn't you just stop? That's my question. Why?
I couldn't stop.
Okay, why?
I don't know why. Because the drugs. Because I was, the problems in my head. I don't know I don't know the answer to that.
No,
I couldn't stop. I was.
You tried.
I was.
But did you try? Did you try to stop?
He wasn't ready.
No.
So you didn't. You really. So okay, then I'm bringing this out, man. See, I'm bringing this out. You really didn't want to stop.
No, I didn't want to stop.
Okay. Well, okay. Go. Hey, I appreciate your honesty,
I
man.
hate
This
it.
is what it's
I-
about. Yeah.
I hated myself, but I didn't want to.
So
stop.
would you? Would it be fair to say that you wanted to destroy yourself? You were hurting so bad that you were like, "Fuck it, man. You know what? I don't care if I don't wake up tomorrow. If I get my heart blows up or whatever." Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
To assume that? Yeah.
I-
Okay. So you weren't. You had a
I'd
death
given
wish.
up. I'd given up.
You'd given up.
I
Got it.
really given up.
Okay.
Also, I mean, I given up, but there's something there that's like, but I'd given up.
Mm-hmm.
I had given up.
Continue.
I had done that thing, and then I went and I was with somebody that was I was with somebody I knew, and I used for like a week straight.
After you left the shop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I had my Cadillac at my mom's, and I had the van.
Yeah.
why you say it like a he's a the van?
Yeah.
That's the whole
long story with the van, man.
The whole story.
We can't talk about the van, man. It's gonna lead us into another freaking part 4.
The shaggy wagon.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, keep going, man.
So I had the van, and the van had all my tools in it. I had everything everything I had left.
I'm gonna say something, man. I gotta say something. This little son of a gun. You know what he was doing? He went and started doing mobile mechanic, right? He started doing mobile mechanic. And then he started. He's. I don't know. I don't know where I saw the post for him or whatever. It's like, don't go. We were a shop, right? Yeah. Don't pay those shop prices. Call me. That sounds like that little fat dog. Go ahead, man. Anyway.
Hustler.
Don't pay those shop prices, man. Call me.
I got you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So yeah, I had so I had all my stuff, all my clothes, all my
in the van,
tools in the van, and so I hadn't left Pearland yet.
Uh-huh.
I was here in Pearland somewhere, and I was just there in my van, using in my van, just
really,
and I couldn't stop. I didn't go to sleep for like a week, and for about 6 or 7 days, I just stayed using. I knew that was it. I knew that I couldn't. I needed help, and I couldn't stop. And then I finally asked my mom to go stay with her in Pasadena. And so I went to Pasadena. And and then I still know people in Pasadena that from when I was a kid, and not very, not good people. So I got hooked up with some things and situations, and I just started a cycle of getting and finding ways and means to get more. And I was miserable. I was miserable. I was staying at my mom's in Pasadena, and I was so mad at myself. I was mad at myself. I was in my addiction, and then I started doing a lot of criminal activity. And I started breaking into people's houses and stealing cars. And that was, and I learned that that was also an addiction of mine. Like I learned that I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say this on.
It was a thrill.
Yeah. I loved it. Like I like, and I don't want to glorify that at all. Like that is not good. That is not good. But I fell in love with it. Like that criminal life I had given up on myself so much that I accepted that, you know, that's how I'm gonna be. And you know, I was out there, man. And so
But dude, subconsciously, you didn't change anything though, man. Because am I fair? Is it fair to say that you were just in your the element that you were brought up in, right? I mean, you didn't change because beginning. Let me recap real quick, and I don't mean to interrupt you. I keep saying that, but you're from Pasadena, and from the very beginning of your story, nothing has changed. Your everything has been the same, up to the point where you came to Pearland and lived here for a while, and you gravitated back to Pasadena again. So something pulls you back. So would you say that that's why it's important, Ernesto, to change people, places, and things? You know, they say
important.
that. They said that. See,
Very
this is a program of recovery, right? So I'm pinpointing. I'm jumping in to stress these parts where we say change people, places, and things. People, you keep talking about the people that you went back, you just mentioned, and I'll highlight that your buddies from school, right? That's people,
not
or from your old
from
neighborhood,
neighborhood.
or whatever, right? That's people. Places, you went back to Pasadena, you were in the same routine, the same whatever, and which they steal cars, they break into homes, blah blah blah. Places, right? Things, you know, you wanted things, you had to get things, you had to get your drugs. So it's all true what they say it in the program: change people, places, and things.
Yeah.
Once you used, you're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep going, and those people, places, and things came back into your life, and that's what, you know, we go back to our comfort, right, to what we know best and what we do, what we've done before. Okay, so I just wanted to jump in there and highlight that real quick. Keep going, Ernesto.
Yeah, people, place. Best thing I did was one of the best things I've done for myself is change my people, my places, and things. Coming here to Pearland is best thing for me. You know, when you're around people that are doing wrong, you know, when you're in jail, and every time you're in jail, or every time I've been in jail, people are like, man, I'm never coming back to Pearland or Brazoria County, and I'm like, you know, which is because the law enforcement here, they're great. They're really great. You know,
They do their job.
They do their
Yeah.
job. Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I like being here. I
Mhm.
like being here because, you know, they do their job, and you know, you stay over there. I'm gonna be over here. You stay over. You know. That's why I try to stay here in Pearland.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I was in Pasadena, and at first I wasn't going out and doing all that stuff. I wasn't. I had stayed. I had stayed inside for a long time.
Inside what? Inside the home? Inside the house?
Inside the apartment.
Yeah, doing drugs in the apartment though.
Yeah, I wouldn't leave. Like,
Because you're paranoid.
yeah.
That's why you. That's
you were
saying why
high.
you. Yeah, because you were high. That's why
yeah.
you wouldn't leave.
I
Yeah.
was very paranoid.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah,
He make it sound like he was a schoolboy. I wouldn't leave. I'm going nowhere, man. I was being good.
I was
No,
very
you was
good.
high shit.
So,
You thought the world was got to get you. Go ahead. We're not glorifying it either.
No, no,
Keep
no,
going.
Yeah.
and so I stayed inside, and that's when I was really like, that's when I remember I was already like mad at myself, depressed, but that was a really dark spot for me.
Really?
Being
At the apartment.
being inside the apartment by myself, getting
Where was
high.
everybody at?
Who's everybody?
Everybody during the day. If you were by yourself, this was your mom's apartment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She was going. They went to work or something.
They'll go to work. And
Right.
You know,
You stay by yourself.
Yeah, and I was sorry. I was depressed, man. I wanted to die. Like,
Really?
you know, there's some times where I get so high that I was like, all right, here it is.
This is the big one.
This is it.
Your
Like,
Sanford and Son.
Yeah.
and then I'll kind of get scared. I was like,
Really?
man, like, so I was, man, it was a really, 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 really dark spot for me there.
What was it? What was the difference? The apartment? being by yourself at the apartment? What was different from using in the van?
Because in the van, I was, I was just like, I was already like kind of using to be like mad at myself, kind of a thing. But when I was miserable then. But when I got to where I was, there,
it was darker. It was a darker spot. You just feel like it was a darker spot in your life. Yeah,
darker spot for me.
Okay.
I
Can't explain why.
I was so mad at myself.
Right.
I was so mad at myself, and I got to a point where like I was even mad at God.
Did you ever at any point sitting in there in the dark in your apartment, did you ever, cause dude, you had accomplished some things, man. He had he had got an apartment, he had 2 cars, the girlfriend, the dog, the picket fence. I mean, dude, 2 cars, the job, the girlfriend, the 2 cars, and you were getting paid every week, man. You had accomplished some things. Did you ever once sit there in the apartment going, man, I mean, I almost had it all, right? And where did it go, right? Did you ever, tell us about that?
Yeah, it was gone. It was gone. My Cadillac got picked up at I miss my Cadillac.
Yeah, you tell me all the time. Every time we see a freaking green Cadillac here.
It got picked up at my mom's apartments because
Parked wrong?
No, well, it was parked in the right spot. They picked it up, and Mr. What's his name's mom, her thing was still on the title. Her name was still on the title somehow because she had passed away, and so
you never transferred it.
I couldn't go up there with my ID and go get the Cadillac. It was mine, so I lost it. They picked it up. I don't know why they picked it up. They did some kind of sweep. They picked it up like 15 cars. Okay,
but I'm going to tell you something, right? Let me explain something. Let me explain something to you. That Cadillac today, you've got that Cadillac. The same situation today, right? Let's say the same situation, not your mom's apartment, but in an apartment. You're there with your car. The car gets picked up, and it's not in your name. It's in Miss What's her name's name that's passed away, right? Would you still have lost that car?
No, I would have.
Shit, no, right? I mean, that's the difference. You lost the car not because it was. Listen, and tell me if I'm wrong. You lost the car not because it wasn't in. It was still in the deceased lady's name. You lost the car. Would it be fair to say that you lost the car because you lost the ability to think straight, to think correctly, and go, I need to go to this man and get an affidavit saying that he sold me this car, and I'm sure he's responsible for his mother. He's got a death certificate, blah, 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 blah. And if you would have been clean, yes, you wouldn't have lost that car. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Thank you.
100%.
I rest my case, Your Honor.
God damn.
I rest my case. So, I mean, hey, right, we got to call it what it is, right? Yeah. We got to call it what it is, right? Because you won't lose that car today. Hell, he had his car. He lost his car up there in downtown Houston.
I paid $300.
Yeah, he paid $300. That's it. And you know what? I'm glad it happened to him. I was happy.
He got told?
He got told. He was doing a job. Yeah, he was actually doing a legitimate job. Yeah. And it got towed. He paid. He got out of his job. He's doing some kind of security.
I was working at the Post Houston.
Yeah. And then he was towed. He parked his car wrong. They towed. I heard nothing about it. He never called me. And then all I know is the next day that he got himself in a metro or somewhere, made it to the police station or wherever the car was. He paid the toll, $300 something plus whatever. He drove his car. Would you if you were high, would you have lost that car, Ernesto?
I would have lost it.
Thank God for your recovery, baby. Yeah. Shit, man, that night I bet you slept good that night. Even though you were tired, I bet you said, Lord, baby Jesus, thank you for my recovery, man. I still have my car outside. Even as ugly as the car is, nice, beautiful car. It's a beautiful car. Am I right or am I wrong? Right. Okay, so we're back to your story, man. I hate to keep interrupting you. I just want to pinpoint these small details of recovery, right?
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, so you lost the car because you were high and you were living that lifestyle. Go ahead.
So I lost the car. And I was very mad about it. My depression.
Why these some bitches take my car? It was their fault, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I
Everybody's fault, but mine.
I got to a spot where I kind of want to somehow pinpoint that spot there because that it's a spot where I'd given up on my I had already given up myself, but I had given up on God then. Like I was like, man,
Really?
how is it, like you said, I'm blaming everybody else and I blamed God. And I was like, why would God let this happen? How is there a God? Why would there let this happen? Why would he let this happen in my life? Why would my life be like this? Or and I would that's where my addiction took me, thinking that I was trying to blame it on God that for my
He dealt you a wrong card.
yeah, for my problems, which everything I've it's all been self-inflicted, all my problems. So after a while, I started going outside. I started,
When you ran out of drugs or what?
yes,
When you ran out of drugs, you go outside.
yeah. So I was. That's when I started going outside and trying to find ways and means to get more. And I actually, man, I actually tried to like work. I would in Pasadena. There's a place where you can go in the morning and they'll pick you up and go to
Like
work.
with the Mexicans, you were standing in the corner with the Mexicans at Home Depot or what? You're at Home Depot?
No, it's called Labor Finders.
Yeah,
it's a labor thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
that's what they call it. Yeah, same thing, dog. But it's at Kroger. The Kroger parking lot. Yeah.
Nice.
Hey man, so let's speed up. Let's get to the part where let's get to the part where you're a couple of paragraphs before your accident, man. We're curious about that. Let's get to the accident part.
Okay. All right. I started living that that life. I started doing things that wrong things for drugs and basically hustling to use. I wasn't anytime I did anything, it wasn't to build to for anything else but drugs. So, but then my mom, she had an opportunity to move to Florida, and she was gonna go over there, and she had a house over there, and she was gonna go over there, and I was supposed to go with her. I was supposed to go with her to Florida, and I was like, no, I was comfortable in Pasadena. I didn't want to go. She gave me the opportunity to go, and I didn't because I knew where the drugs were.
You're comfortable.
Yeah. And so I chose, instead of going to Florida and going to stay with them still, I chose to be here homeless.
So she packed up our stuff from the apartment and you moved out too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I chose to be here in Pasadena, and I chose to live on the streets. To me, that's crazy to say, and there's a lot of people, homeless people that I today, sometimes I got empathy for them. Sometimes I don't. I fight myself with that, man. Cause like I know the hustle, but I also know,
the struggle.
I also know that sometimes there's been times where I had old clothes and I would go give it to him. Here you go, man. Today. And sometimes I'm like, nah, man, I know what you're doing, So but anyways, I chose to be here to hustle, to work, to work the streets and to do drugs. And I never, ever, even at the apartment, In my bedroom, I had a bed. I had a bed in my bedroom. I got to a point where I picked my bed up. I put my bed against the wall. It was against the wall because I knew I wasn't gonna lay down and go to sleep. I needed, for some reason, I thought I needed the room, and and I had a lot of things going on, and then I chose to be on the streets, and I really didn't have a bed. I never laid down.
Mm-hmm.
I had never laid down out there in my addiction. I didn't lay down.
Well, I bet that was tiring.
Yeah. Yeah, there would be times where like people sometimes somebody want me to stay at the hotel with them, and I'm like, all right, and actually one time, one day I did lay down, maybe twice. Okay, twice. Now that I'm thinking about it,
dude, that's odd. That's something, man. Whenever you're like, yeah, I lay down twice in 6 months, man. I slept twice in 6 months.
Yeah.
He said he needed more room for projects.
Yeah. 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 What's up, Mac?
You know, when you said that, this isn't funny, but you ever seen Step Brothers? You see when they got the bunk beds and he goes, we got so much room for activities.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see here. What did I just say?
You put the bed up. You were you were homeless and you were standing. You lay down twice in 6 months or 3 months or something.
Yeah. So I lay down. And those other times where I would be at somebody's house or in a hotel, I couldn't lay down. Like I couldn't stop moving. I had to keep going. All I could think about was selling and stealing.
Right, to support so you can get high again.
Yes, and I was stuck. Man. I was stuck in it, and now that I think about it today, and man, today it hit me. It hit me the other night, man. I was in my room on my bed, and it was, I had a good day, man, and I lay down, and actually I think I had a rough day. And I lay down on my bed and had my AC on, and I closed my door, and it hit me, man. Like I'm in my bed, and anybody that knows what I'm talking about, maybe you do, maybe you don't. For me to say that is like so amazing to me. It's crazy what I'm grateful for today, to be able to lay down in my bed. And
in your apartment.
That's one of the things that I'm grateful for today in my recovery. And that's in my apartment, in my own place. That's super cool to me, and it's very humbling.
So what's different this time?
What do you mean?
What's different this time? What's going on? What's different? No, I shouldn't have asked that yet. So you were in your apartment. You were reminiscing about how good your life is, right?
It hit me. It hit me that that I'm in my bed. I'm laying down on my pillow and my blanket and
your teddy bear.
Yeah, my teddy bear. Yeah. Sometimes I put some music on and man, I love it. I love it.
Would you say you're grateful?
Very grateful.
That's what's up.
And so, anyways, I had to say that right now. So I was out there, and I got to a point where I was tired. Tired. And I have family in Pasadena, but I wasn't gonna go to them. I was out there in my stuff, man. I wasn't gonna go to them, and I like today and being out there, man, I would be mad. I would be like, man, nobody ever calls me. Be like, hey, man, actually,
when did nobody call you?
When I was in my stuff.
When you were in Pasadena and homeless?
Yes. Like nobody was ever like, hey, hey, come over here, man. We're like, well, you need a place to stay. And,
Mhm.
and now I think about it, I was like, yeah, I wouldn't give me a place to stay either. Yeah. And so I understand today. But I was mad at the time.
This is when you're talking about the time that you were homeless and your mom left, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember anybody calling you?
Yes.
No? Who called you? Who kept calling looking for you?
You did. Yeah.
I kept looking for them, man.
Yeah.
I spent many times looking for him, following him in the street. He had me running around on a wild goose chase. I had set him up with a to turn himself in. He was running from the law too. I guess he's got it's his mind. Forgot to say he was running from the law too.
Oh, at this time?
At that time, yeah.
time.
Yeah, he had skipped probation. He had skipped probation. I hope you don't mind me saying it.
Yeah, no, from that thing, from
Yeah,
breaking into that person's house. Yeah, I missed that.
And I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to say this, and I hope it doesn't sound like I'm talking good about myself, because I usually do like to talk good about myself, right? But when he went off on this thing, man, I had consulted with some people in the program, man, and they really, really upset me, right? They upset me because it seemed like they didn't care. I was like, hey, man, I need some help with this guy. I don't know what to do. He's man. And then anyway, I made some agreements with some friends that I have to get him. If he would turn himself in, that they would kind of look out for him a little bit. Right. And he said, okay, just bring him in, man. And I told him, I said, come on, man, turn yourself in, and tell me where you're at. I've got it all set up for you. Look, man, you turn yourself in, man. And while you're in jail, and whatever duration that you get into in jail, man, I'm not going to leave your side. I won't give up on you. You'll be there. I'll be there every step of the way. You can count on it. And okay, I'm gonna be here at this storage shop, this storage shed. Okay, I'd show up, nothing, crickets. And I'd be like, "Where you at?" "Oh, I'm over here." I'd go over there, and that happened several times, man. And I was like, you know what? I still didn't give up on him, man. I couldn't. You know what I mean? I spent a very lonely Thanksgiving, man, when he was out. And I think I told you, right? I had leased their beach house. Took all my children, man, and I was I remember being, man, I knew, because I've done it before. I was in that situation, right? Miserable. I was like, man, I knew he was out there, and I had a good idea what he was out there. And I'm Thanksgiving at the beach, and that kind of the beach house that I just rented.
Yeah.
And man, it just messed me up knowing that he was out in the street, man, and there was nothing, absolutely nothing I could do. Somebody could beat him, could do whatever, but if he's not ready, meaning not ready. And I'm going to tell you this: one of the times, so this is some of the times when I said, man, you know what, God, just take care of him, man. Just just let him live through it, man.
Yeah.
Let him live through it, and he almost didn't. So share about that when you got on the bike.
What was that, man? What was the wake up call? What was the oh shit moment?
So yes, I got to a point where I was super tired. I was miserable. I would, there'd be times where I would, on days like today, these last few days, man, I would think, because there'd be times where the days were beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
These last couple of days have been beautiful, and I remember sitting there, and it was like, man, this day is nice. The day is nice. Not where I was, but it's nice out here. Outside.
It feels good.
It feels good outside, and I'd be miserable, man. So heartbroken, mad, and out there, and I would be like, man, I wish I was back at the shop. I wish I was back at the shop. I wish that I could, I didn't mess this up, And so that's where I was. So my accident. My mom, they had got a house in Florida. So I was like, all right, well, I got to a point where I was like, I need something different. So I was like, well, I'm gonna go to Florida. And so they got me a bus ticket once, and I didn't go to the bus. I didn't go to the bus stop. And so I'd asked him to give me a bus ticket again. And so I was that day I went from there's a place in there's a place I hang out a lot in Pasadena. I went from there. I remember I couldn't remember after my accident, but I put it together. I went from that place. Actually, I stayed at my aunt's that night. I had finally, like my Tia Mary, I had finally like went to her and said, "Can I lay down?" You know,
Yeah.
and that was the best sleep I've gotten in a long time. Laying down on my Tia Mary's couch, you know, and that is the best sleep. You know, that was my dad's sister, and every time I go to my Tia Mary's, I sit on the couch. All my life, I've always felt at home. You know, that's my Tia Mary. And so I had finally was like, "Can I lay down?" And so she let me lay down in her couch, and I slept. I slept, and I slept for like so. I knew I had plans, and so she gave me $20 to go and turn my phone on. I had this phone. I went to this phone store, got my phone turned on that morning. I went from her apartment on my bike. I went and I got that phone turned on, and then I went, and what I was doing is I was going around Pasadena, and I was saying my goodbyes, you know.
You tell everybody, I see you.
Yeah, I was, trying
like
to
Debo.
Yeah, I was trying to take something to Florida, you know. I thought I was gonna be a Scarface or something, you know. So I was, excuse me. Sorry about that. I went. I went into Ross. I went into Ross. I went in wearing something, and I left.
Wearing something else.
Yeah. I had new shoes, new shirt, new pants, everything. And I got on my bike, and then I went to this person's house, and got high. Got high, and and then I was actually gonna take a girl with me to Florida. I was like, "Hey, you want to go to Florida?" So I was gonna go meet up with her. That's what I was gonna do. I went there, and I went down Burke in front of Walgreens, and I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure how it happened, but
you got hit by a truck.
I got hit by a car.
A car?
Well, it was an SUV. They say that they're racing. I got hit by the SUV. And so, from my point of view, I was riding my bike, and the next thing I knew, I'm waking up being transferred in the hospital. Like I see like the ceiling like this. I'm looking up, and I'm being transferred, laying on the bed, and the guy's like, he seen that I'm waking up. He's like, "Do you know what happened to you?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Nah," and he said that he's like, "You got hit by a car," and I was like, "What?" So I didn't know it was like 2 months later.
Can I show the picture?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm asking Ernesto.
Yeah.
You can say no, bro.
No, go ahead.
No, you can say yes. No, I'm asking Ernesto.
I don't know if y'all can see that very well, but that's the picture. Seeing that right now, bro, how does that make you feel?
It's kind of hard to look at.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Put your glasses on.
Yeah. Actually, I got contacts.
Do you?
Yeah.
Be damn. That's right. That's when you look different.
Yeah, I got contacts.
I thought you had shaved or something.
Yeah, no, I did.
All right, cool. So and then?
So, oh yeah. So
How many months did you spend in the hospital?
2 months.
You spent 2 months.
A little less than 2 months.
Okay, so you went to the you got hit by a car. You almost lost your life. You struggled. I'm gonna tell you, man, you look bad. You look really bad, man. And it was a horrible way to see you, man. So
And I
but
look, I want to say this. I don't know if I've ever. I appreciate everybody that came to see me. You know, that's a lot of family members. They came and saw me, and you know, I've never been able to say, you know, appreciate it because, but I do, and so my mom. I want to say that I appreciate my mom. My mom was there. She was in Florida, and she got a phone call that about my accident, and she was there right away, man. And that's one thing that you know, um, I appreciate today a lot. She was there. She was there, and her and my aunt, and like they were both there, and which is really cool. I could have been left to myself. So she left me. No, she was there. She was there. So that's I appreciate that. So in my coma, I was in a coma and I had lost all my muscle. That I've read the reports today, not today, but now, and they weighed me at 245 on the day of my accident. When I had woke up, when I had finally been able to get up and walk, I had found a scale, and I was like 267. So I went from 245 to no 1.
I was gonna say, damn, fool, you gained weight?
No.
Yeah.
I went from 245 to 167. All muscle. I mean, I guess some fat, but
very little fat.
Yeah, all muscle. Yeah. So I lost all my muscle, and I didn't know. I knew who I was, but I was trying to figure it out. When I was able to, when they woke me up, I was being transferred, and at that time I had they were gonna put a trach in me. I had a trach. I don't know if y'all can see. I had a trach in my throat, man. I had a trach in my throat. God, man. Sometimes I forget about that until I take my shirt off. And maybe this is some my reminders. Every time I take my shirt off every day, it's a reminder that, man, what that shit can take me to. And so I was being transferred, and they put a trach in me, and so anyways, I got back to my room, and I was hooked up to all this stuff, and this doctor had asked me. This doctor came in, and they're like, "Hey, what's your name?" And I think I said my name, Ernie or Ernest or whatever I told him. And they asked me what year it was, and I said it's 2010. And I told him I was like, it's 2010, and they're like, no, it's 2019. I was like, what?
Man, I'm going to tell you something, man. I'd hate to stop you there. And I didn't think this was going to go to part 4, man.
We say part 4 and the final.
And the true final, man. We got to stop it there. And we can't we have to finish the recovery part, man, because this is, like I said last time, we thought that was going to be the ending, man, but we have to do part 3. This is part 3. You have to do part 4, and then we have to stop because we've been over an hour now. So Ernesto, can we count on you to finish this up next week?
We can't finish it now.
No, we have about, dude, we have another 30, 40. I'm going to tell you from where you had the accident, there's a lot of things because the recovery part, the part where you recover is next. You've done a little bit of recovery. I'm going to say this, and please tell me, anybody, give me your opinion. Anybody that's watching right now, anywhere, and Ernesto and Raul, it won't hurt my feelings, but you had let me recap. Okay. You had a small taste of recovery, what recovery was willing to offer you, right? You took it and you were not grateful somehow or the other. And please forgive me. I'm not trying to offend nobody, but your gratitude wasn't there because, or for whatever reason, or you just wasn't sure what that you really want to make. I don't know why you used, right? The point is that you used, and not just used, but you used you went to the next level, right? But you did have that because you sat there and from what your story from your mouth, it said, man, I wish I was back to where this, I wish I had this, I wish I had the other. You've never mentioned that before, right? In other circumstances, other cases. Say you want to say something?
Man, it's up to you, bro. I'm cool if you want to keep going.
Man, we have another. It's gonna take a while.
Yeah, well, it's up to you or whatever y'all want.
Let's finish it up next week, man. Okay. Let's finish it up and let's wrap it up and finish it up next week. And then this is gonna be. I mean, first guest has gone 4. You know what I mean? Are you okay with finishing up next week, Ernesto? We can count on you.
So I'm gonna need that in writing, bro.
Yeah,
that didn't sound too enthusiastic.
Yeah, because really, man, it's another at least 30 or 45 minutes because the recovery part is this is the recovery part that really is. I mean, it's all important, but it all leads to this.
The recovery part is the most important part.
It is I didn't want to say that, but it is the most important part, man, and it's the part that I would like for everybody to tune in for the finale, man, because it's exciting. It is beautiful, and if Ernesto keeps going the way he's going, we see great things in his future, man. But let's see from here. We got to here's where we stop, man. Look, in the beginning, we heard about everything from when he was a little kid. We talked about his dad and the love and the loss of a loved one. And I think, in my opinion, that a lot of that has to do with his hurt and everything that has going on inside, I don't know about you, but sometimes when I was sad, man, I would drink by myself in my truck.
Yeah.
And listen to music, man. And I would just sit there and think about all the wonderful things, how it used to be, right? Why can't it be like that again, right? So they say that whenever we have those, when we start drinking and using by ourselves, man, there's a problem, right? We're not drinking socially anymore. We're drinking to forget. When we drink or do drugs to forget, there's a problem. So we experienced that with Ernesto. He explained that to us in the first section, and in the second section, we talked about him, going to the church missionary and how he got, he was doing good and then he got kicked out. Got sent back, made it back, and then his girlfriend, he got the apartment, and then with his dad, right? That was in the first part. And the second part, losing his father, and then we didn't really touch much about his mom, and I'll leave that to him for whatever, and his sister. But I think some of this stuff is going to come into play in the ending session, right? And we'll leave it to him how he wants to, if he even wants to bring it up in any way, form, or fashion. So that was the second part. The third part, we get to what led up to him. When we started this third part, was we picked up on when he left the shop, and when unfortunately I had to let him go. That was the second time, right? And that was the most hurt part, the second time when he left, and then he went through he had gone to jail and got on probation, and he skipped probation. I think he forgot to say that. But and then he did a lot of running around, a lot of gypsying around here, there, and everywhere. And then he had the accident, which I think that part is the intervention with God, man.
You think so?
You know, yeah. Well, and we don't mention religion, and we try not to mention religion and politics on this program, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna say, in my opinion, I think it's a higher power was looking out for him, and sometimes, unfortunately, man, we get to stop just dead on our tracks. So that's what happened to him, and then it stopped him. It put him in a stop, and that's where we're at. So he was 2 months in the hospital. He wakes up with went from 250 pounds to whatever to a 160-pound man, not knowing what he's gonna do next. And this is where we're in this session, man. And we'll pick this up if y'all remember. We'll pick this up next Wednesday. I would like for you guys to join in until we can really finish this section. This is going to be, I think, in my opinion, the most important part, because this is where the true recovery starts. There was a little bit of recovery in the beginning, part 3, on all 3, actually in the middle of part 2 and then part 3, he experienced, Ernesto experienced some recovery. And I'm going to say this, something that when he was out, right before we finish up tonight, wrap up, that when I was trying to find out with Ernesto what to do, because he was out there, somebody told me, you know, I'm going to tell you, did I tell you that I did some things that I shouldn't have done for him? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did some things that I shouldn't have done to him. And one of these guys that really ticked me off, and I was telling him, hey, man, well, you know, I'm going to, he goes, hey, man, who are you to deny him his pain, man? I was like,
next episode, you need to touch up on that too, bro.
We'll touch up on that one too. So let's wrap it up, man.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Man, you know, I wanted to say one thing before we left, man.
Go for it.
Is, you know, I hit 1,000 days, bro.
All right, man. That's right. Yes, you're right.
Friday.
Right.
And I want, the reason I say that is because, man, I had, things have been going kind of crazy for me. And I haven't had the urge to do anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, congratulations, man. I remember seeing that, man. That's awesome, man.
No
you having no
urges,
urges to do nothing?
Urges,
no.
No urges, man.
Dude, because that's usually the first thing we do is when to go celebrate or whatever, right?
Yeah. Or even like when you have bad days and shit like that, man.
Even
now
that.
you always like, man, oh yeah, but I'm just like, man, fuck it.
That's all right, man. There you go.
I caught myself smiling a lot more, bro.
That's awesome, man.
I'm happy.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, bro.
Absolutely.
And for that, man.
All right.
We'll see y'all next week. Y'all be sure to tune in to the finale.
The final finale of the Mexican.
Yeah, we're gonna catch you.
Part 17.
Part 17. Yeah, right. All right, man. With that being said, go ahead, Raul.
You guys be sure to tune in. Be sure to share, and Ernesto's gonna actually tell people that he's gonna be on next Wednesday. I know there's a couple people right here pissed off because you didn't tell them that you were gonna be on today.
No, he didn't even tell me either.
So with that, you guys, you have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Hey, Ricky,
we do recover. What is it? The lie is dead. Why?
Because we do recover.